Okay, so everybody is talking about this race by ShaCarri Richardson, and a couple things. Uh, well, for the first part, she was talking a lot of smack. I guess it was to build up hype to the race. The spin-off of this actually is that it is still going to build up her popularity. That's just how society's moving. So, regardless of if something is good or bad, she's still going to gain some popularity from this situation of constantly speaking up. So we had the Prefontaine event here taking place, and I find it interesting one that she would have been placed between both of the elite um, Olympians that just would have come off the Olympics and were actually very successful. That being Elaine Thompson Herah and Shelly Ann Fraser Price. First thing first, I'm trying to understand why it is they would sandwich her between a rock and a hard place, basically. Because in this instance, there's a lot of psychological damage here, right? That would have been taking place. You claim that you're one of the best. Yes, she does have one of the greatest times in the world. I think she said it was top 6 or top 7 of all time. And know that she's placed in a situation where she ought to, represent. It so turned out that she actually came last. I believe she came last because her mind was not strong enough in this particular situation. But let's look at the race for a bit and let's see what goes on here. I took this video from someone from YouTube, so just bear with me. You're going to hear that person.
Starts. 2 10-6s versus all these 10-7s. It never happened before in history.
Mind you, this girl is 21, so she's still young. She's going up against these elite women, right? Basically, these are women that she's up against. She's still young. She can say she's an adult, but in terms of experience and so on. And this is one of the reasons why I never understood the talking in the first place. I felt like, yeah, she's good enough, but I also think too that the American media should hold some lashes, or should at least be held accountable, because they did a pretty good job of hyping up ShaCarri. All right, I felt like it was just too much. I mean, we're talking about running, we're talking about times, and one of the things that I felt was she should at least have been the times, the world time, the world standard times against these top athletes. It should have given her some perspective. I think Brianna Williams Taylor, I'm not sure, but I think she was one of the best as well, and she did have some success. So I didn't see it swell her head, but you know how it is. All right, let's just watch this race.
Oh my.
And at least within the first at least within the first 20 or 10 yards or whatever it is, clearly we see she's behind her. No, she's sandwiched between two Olympians. Okay? That in itself is a psychological blow. So let's see what happens here.
God, oh my. Oh my. Oh my.
And so at this point, it should be clear. It should hit home, that there's some work that needs to be done. We ought not to get ahead of ourselves. I appreciate the talk, because what it actually did too is that it kind of generated a interest in track. And the thing about it is, this would have been a really hot topic because just coming off the Olympics, she was one of the favorites to actually medal at the Olympics, but then we had the issue with the banning because of marijuana use or something like that. And now a lot of persons were looking forward, to her actually showcasing what she could do. Now there's an argument here, because people could say, well, You know, she was home. She should have been still training even though she was banned. I don't know if she could train, but she should have still been able to train, find some track and train. Also, these Olympians would have been tired, you know, given the fact that they would have been participating at the Olympics, the amount of traveling that they would have had to do and so on. They would have been really tired as well, but they still came out. I mean, the usual suspects. You know, Elaine Thompson, very good time. I think it was 10.54 or 52. I'm not sure. Speaking subject to correction there. Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, I think she's 34, 35, still doing it. ShaCarri Richardson, one of my favorites. I mean, the usual suspects, Talo, you know, these elite athletes, and then we see ShaCarri just and you know, it just hits home, you know, in that moment. And of course social media is unforgiving, huh? It's really unforgiving. And let's watch what happens. So at this stage, the race is over, and notice what happens here. She walks past Elaine Thompson. She doesn't even acknowledge Elaine Thompson. Whoa. She doesn't even acknowledge Elaine Thompson, yo.
That girl is no joke.
See that?
ShaCarri, what happened?
I mean, even this guy was like, what happened? You know, what happened? But whoever the person was, right, that selected this race and would have placed these athletes to, you know, basically be outside of her, basically. I mean, this person was wicked. This person was evil, because I felt as though she felt the pressure of this situation here, just being sandwiched between these two. Why couldn't she have been next to Talu and Brianna Williams? You know, like, it was just rough, man.
She got third at the Jamaican Olympic trials. She has been on a tear. Her coach said she's in the shape of her life, and she has
Look at that, look at that.
no contest at
Oh my.
no contest here.
No contest.
And you know, the commentators, you know, they had to put some lashes in because, you know, I guess on one side I could say that she kind of deserves it because she was running a lot of smack, but at the same time, I don't think she should really be talking at this point because she hasn't exactly she's proven stuff, you know, in the junior arena. She's showing a lot of talent. This girl is talented, yo. I actually like this girl. But we want to get away from running your mouth, right? And we want to encourage that, you know, we have conversations after the fact, so that if Elaine Thompson wanted to speak and say, but hey, I'm double Olympic champion back to back. Obviously, she's qualified to speak like that. I mean, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce also is qualified to speak. But I felt like ShaCarri was... She brought attention to herself. And I think looking forward, you know, she can now begin to build her portfolio, train harder. Okay, remember, it's about the times. You see, there's a thing. If you make it about these people, this is where you make the mistake. You gotta make it about the time. Once you make it about the time, okay, you zero in on the time, you know who you're capable of beating. That's the thing about track. It's all about time. If I know that I am running 10.5 whatever, 10.4 whatever, I know where I stand. If I can calculate an average of me doing this consistently, I know where I am. I know what I'm capable of. But don't go in, don't do that. Don't go in so strong. This, I that, you know. It was just distasteful, you know.